Hey guys, how we doing today? Just waiting for a few more people to pop in. Just now 2 o'clock. So how we doing, Victor? Rob? Hey Jose. Guys, thanks for stopping by. So we got got a book there showing in TikTok and on YouTube, showing the business planner, free business planner on YouTube. So hope everybody's having a good day. It's warming up a little bit here. Finally. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. And we'll be talking about the free business planner that I have available for those that are wanting to plan their business out. So Okay, we'll get started here in a minute. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys have a business or how many of you are thinking of starting a business. Um, I think of it as so many people when they have their business, uh, most people find themselves just kind of falling into it, or they end up just they end up taking advice from somebody that maybe somebody they know, that cousin or whatever, and so it's not always the best advice because let's face it, you don't always have the advice of somebody that has done it before. So, great example. You have 50% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. 80% of restaurants fail within the first 5 years. Because as a restaurant, number one, a restaurant is really hard. And number two, most people get into a restaurant because they think hey, I'm a good cook. They don't think about the business aspect. But here's the flip side of that is that less than 1% of all McDonald's ever fail. And let's face it, it's not because the McDonald's food is good. Opening a restaurant, your success is not because you're good at what you're doing. It, and I know that, that's like, it's crazy, but think about it. It, you don't necessarily have to be good at what you're doing to be great at your business. You need to be you need to be more focused at being a great business person and learn your trade. And the example I want to give, this may upset some of you, but I want to talk about Christopher Columbus. He set out to do something that, of course, had never been done. It's not like you could go buy a Christopher Columbus franchise because it hadn't been done. And I forget how many years he spent going to the Queen to get the money. It wasn't like my forefather had his own money, Sir Humphrey Gilbert, to go do his own exploring. He had to go to the Queen and get the Queen's money. So, and I'm don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash Columbus, but he kept going after the Queen to get the Queen's money. And so he sets out, and the whole point was he was trying to find a faster route to India for spices. Because if you can get to India faster, you're going to make more money. It's easy enough. So the Queen, throws the money at him. It's not real. I mean, why she agreed to it, I have no idea. This is not what he was qualified to do. Nonetheless, she throws the money, and he had in his mind, because that he could, you know, sail around their part of the world, thinking that their half of the hemisphere was the only world that there was. So when he landed in Honduras, I think it was, which is, I mean, he ended up, down in the Caribbean and Central America. Okay. He did not come to North America. He was in the Caribbean and Central America. And when he sees these people, he called them he called them Indians. That's what he called them. Because he thought he was in India. He didn't do anything to try to confirm what he did. Okay, he didn't do any analytics. He didn't do any testing. He's like, hey, I hit land. There's people. It must be India. So I'm not going to go into all the atrocities, but he goes back, and he later gets credited for discovering the Americas, and everybody gets called American Indians because of his blunder, because he thought he was in India. His planning was horrible. Did he accomplish his goal? Not even close. I mean, he's still remembered to this day. He's still celebrated by so many people because he did something. I mean, there were people here long before he ever got here. He's remembered for it, though. So here's the thing. If you're going to start a business, do you want to blunder through it and just end up with something? Because he did not meet his goal. Not anywhere. His goal was to find a shorter route to India so that he could find a faster way to get spices. He didn't find India. He didn't find spices. That's a bust. So regardless of what kind of business you're going to set out for, if you don't have metrics, if you don't have planning, then how are you going to get there? I mean, I'm in Plant City, Florida. If I say, hey, let's go to Orlando, great. Well, if I don't turn the right direction, I am not going to end up in Orlando. I could end up in Miami. I can end up in Tampa. I can end up in Tallahassee. So thanks for the likes, guys. If I don't plan my trip out, I am not going to, I have, a really low percentage of getting where I want to go. And you say, oh, well, you just follow the signs. Sure. Follow the signs if you read the signs, but you got to pay attention. Isn't it more efficient to plan your trip ahead of time so that you can focus on what you're trying to do? Because if you're heading down the road and there's a turn coming up that you need to make to the right, and you're not prepared for that turn, and you're in the left lane, are you going to be able to make that turn? No, you're not. And this is the way it is in business. So what I like to do when I'm helping somebody set up a business It's not that hard. You look at what it is that you're offering and you ask questions like, okay, what advantages do you have over your competition? What advantages does your competition have over you? What are your weaknesses? What are your strengths? What's your competition's weaknesses and strengths? Because if you can't play to your strengths and avoid your weaknesses, and well, but in the same token, you need to be aware of your weaknesses. Some people think that you need to focus on your weaknesses, not in business. In business, you need to know what your weaknesses are and you need to stay the hell away from them. You need to hide them, keep them out of the way, and make sure that your customers and competition never see them. But you need to find out what your competition's weaknesses are, and you need to not exploit them, but you need to make sure that your competition's weakness is your strength. That's business. That's your job. And you don't necessarily need to make a big deal out of it, but that's part of doing business. And that's just planning. That's part of writing a business plan. You need to look at, if your business is seasonal, then you need to look at how you're going to fund it, how you're going to staff it. Where's the inventory going to come from? Because, if there's a busy time of year, when I do marketing, shucks, everybody likes to do giveaway, stuff for their employees and stuff at Christmas time. Well, that's great. But guess what? What's normally a 3 to 4 week lead time on that stuff come Christmas time, that can be a 12-week lead time just because it's the holidays. Everybody's trying to get that stuff. So now you got to plan ahead, way ahead. So, business is successful business is so much about planning. The difference between owning a successful business and owning a job is all about your planning. Because if you don't plan from the beginning, if you don't plan for success, then you're planning to fail. It's that simple. If you don't have a plan, then you're setting yourself up for failure. And these days, with the technology that we have in AI, there are so many tools. I'm not talking about chatbots. Those things, they're going to lie to you half the time anyway. I can design AI tools to help you streamline almost any aspect of your business. I'm not talking about doing things for you. I'm talking about streamlining things to help you be more powerful at what you're doing. And, so in this day and age, there is no reason, there's no excuse for you to be stumbling around wondering what you're going to do in business. You just need a plan. And to make it even easier, I even have a free business planner on my website. You just answer a few questions and we compile it, put it together, and it walks you through. And there you go. You have your business plan to help set you up for success. Thanks for the follow. So, does anybody have any specific questions about, setting up a business plan or modifying a business plan? Don't want everybody jump at once now. I am featuring one of my books, Broke to Business Boss, in TikTok today. It's great. It's a great tool for anybody that's, starting a business. So, well, if nobody has any questions, I appreciate everybody stopping by, and I'll see you next week. Anybody have any requests they'd like to see over the next couple of months in podcasts? Okay. We'll see you around.